Well, hello, my lovely little lichlings. Say hi to the little lichling. This is the Laughing Lich Corporation, our homebrew actual play campaign in our own homebrew world and setting. This is session 13 on Foe 21. And I guess I am trying to do way too many things, but I am the recapper this week, so. Oh, thank you, Jesse. I'm trying to still put Sadie together. No, we basically told him that we basically went through the truth that we were there, sent there to to check it out by the town. I don't remember. It's my new companion.
Individual bandits or poachers, and there was something that happened. Yes, that's right, Trusk. Trusk unfortunately met an early demise, and you guys were not high enough level to have a revivify or the proper materials for a revivify, and so you carry Trusk's undead or unalive corpse back to Watch.
I've renamed my
He's
bag
only
of holding.
mostly dead.
I've renamed my bag of holding the morgue.
The morgue. Where is the dragon egg? Isn't it in your bag?
Also in the bag of holding. Yeah.
Yeah, yep. Maybe you don't want to call it the morgue just yet. All right. So, as you arrive back in Thalewatch. It is late afternoon, early evening, and before you left the day before, it was already something was happening. It seemed that people were preparing for something. A lot of the windowsills and areas around the town square were beginning to be filled with beautiful, colorful flowers that looked to be like they were coming into bloom. When you return in the afternoon/early evening, you find that the city is just completely transformed with beautiful potted flowers and like bouquets and what do you call them? They go across the alleyways and the roads, but it's just flowers draped all around. I don't know what they're called, and it's honestly beautiful. People sound like they are getting excited for the blooming, and the market squares are just abuzz with a music and people beginning to celebrate. And you assume something is happening.
Would we have heard of the bloom at all previous to this?
You probably would have heard murmurs about it, but this is the first time that it's starting to manifest. So you can do a quick history check and put a low DC on it to remember and figure out what it's all about.
I would love to assist if anyone needs to.
You could roll your own. I'm terrible at history.
Okay, one moment.
Okay.
We can also learn from NPCs, apparently.
You can. Sam, are you rolling?
I'm getting it loaded. Sorry.
No worries. All right. Oh God, guys, come on.
It's all right. We're getting out of the bad rolls out now.
You know what? Yersa is really upset by Trusk dying. She is not in her right mind right now, and she's very, very sad.
All right. So when you look around, you can see that there are an obvious array of colors all around you in the market square and in the city right now. Trusk is currently in the morgue, but as you look around, you can see that all the colors are pretty much represented except for purple. For whatever reason, there is no purple flower, and you can see blues, you can see oranges, reds, greens, etc., but you do not see any purple flowers. You talk to a few individuals on the side of the road, and they are explaining that the blooming is the marking of the rare simultaneous blooming of nocturnal jungle flowers. This the festival that everyone is preparing for features night-long festivities with bioluminescent decorations and herbal concoctions. Healers and alchemists gather to create potent remedies, which it's a spectacle. And there's also other traditions such as the Night of Echoes, where attendees will float glowing flower petals down the river to honor their dead. And that is happening tonight. There are also other things such as lanterns filled with glowing spores that light the city. The night markets are bustling with potion makers and herbalists and mystics. People who you've seen before. It seems like even if you're not trained in herbalism or potion making, people are just kind of like doing their best to just like test new recipes and understand the medicines that are part of the jungle that they have found. There's also drum circles and like a slow trance-like dances of swaying beneath massive jungle trees, and trying to like feel that echo of people who have been lost and are dead. But that is currently what is going on right now. What would you all like to do?
Find a diamond worth 300 gold pieces.
Do you have the ability to cast that spell?
Yeah, I do.
Revivify.
We need to hurry
dead.
up.
Well, Ray's dead. He's been
God damn it.
dead too long for.
Yep.
Well, we had spoken about maybe finding some kind of religious service here in town that might be able to do this for us.
Okay.
We only get a discount on it, considering we just helped out the guard.
I do not suppose it will come cheap, but we will do what we can for our fallen comrade. Can I ask around for, like, religious healing services around the town?
Absolutely. The individual that you see is a dragonborn named Rako Emberjaw.
Ooh.
And as you approach him, he is wearing a festive garb for being a guard member, which normally has like a specific outfit. He is a little bit more festive, and he looks quite stern in that he is overseeing the public safety during this time. And he's helping out many people, but you approach him as well. And what exactly do you ask?
Excuse me, sir. We have just returned from a mission for the town guard where one of our friends had fallen. We were hoping to procure resurrection services. Do you know anywhere in town that we might be able to find this?
Resurrection services, you say? Well, you've stumbled upon the best event for that to occur. We have here the finest alchemists and herbalists in all the land, so if there is anyone that would know anything about this, you would want to see Mela Nightroot Kinthari. She is known to be one of the greatest herbalists and alchemists who could pretty much concoct anything. But she is quite busy tonight, as you probably assume, with the festivals and all that. But you give her the anything that she asks for, and maybe she might be able to help you out. I'm sorry to hear about your lost one, but I do encourage you to participate in the Night of Echoes ritual.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I'll return and let the others know what I found.
I should also mention, Chap, that he seemed to be wearing the garb that I was describing earlier. It was atypical in that it had vines in a very specific pattern. I like to think of it as more like a Gaelic pattern, one of those old Gaelic symbols, but it was in the form of vines, and you assume it to be a symbol for something important.
It seems that you're overseeing this festival. Can I ask what your title is in town? What is it you do?
My title is Festival Guard Captain. I oversee the festivities here because it seems like many of our guards folk do not appreciate the traditions as much as I do, or deeply respect them as much as I do. And something that the garb that I'm wearing is of Kazmira, the goddess of healing and nature. She preaches the dogma to heal is to honor life, and to kill without need is to desecrate creation. Even the most twisted vine may bear fruit with light and care, and all life is a cycle: birth, bloom, decay, and rebirth. And that is the dogma that I follow.
Very interesting. I do not follow a dogma, as I have not come in contact with a god.
At this moment, you hear what sounds like a little bit of panic, people gasping and whatnot, as you look over to the crowd and you can see an individual, a young girl, woman, I should say, in probably early 20s, and she has her eyes kind of rolling back in her skull, and she's dancing and swaying back and forth a little bit too erratically. And Rako Emberjaw looks to you and just says, "You helped the town before. Maybe you can help her. It seems like she may have been possessed. Are you able to do any assessments? Do you have any medical training?"
I know someone who does. I will collect them and we will take a look.
All right.
I'll run over to Yersa and say, "There's a girl that seems to be requiring of your aid. Also, I found out some information about a goddess, and I know that's your thing, so I will relay that to you later."
Ooh. Okay. Okay. Take me Take me where I'm needed.
Just grab your hand and bolt through the crowd.
Oh, jeez.
As you bolt through the crowd, it's not hard to find the individual woman who is still swaying. The drums have not stopped. You can see the individual who is playing is known as Uma of the Fifth Drum, a goblin ritualist, looking like they come from the Tezloke Empire, from the Druid camp that you met before. But the goblin ritualist is just drumming and saying, "Please do not intervene. We must continue the drum, or the ritual might pass in an incorrect way. It could affect her. We need to keep playing. Please assess her from afar. Do not intervene." And the Uma just keeps on drumming and drumming and drumming. But Yersa, what are you doing?
Can I do a quick assessment and then determine if I need to intervene or not based on what I can tell?
I am going to give you a disadvantage on your medicine check because the woman who's dancing, she's going kind of erratically, and it's hard to get close to her. The only way that I would give you not advantage, in fact, I'd give you advantage, is if you went in and started a performance check to dance with her, so that you can kind of like move with her and follow her movements and understand and do the medicine check with advantage that way.
Okay.
However you
We'll
want to
do
do
that.
it. Hot damn. Yersa, you jump in immediately and you feel the rhythm in your soul at this moment. This Uma of the Fifth Drum, this ritualistic goblin, something about the drum, as soon as you step into the sound, it just lifts you and takes you. And you felt like this before, but in a very distant sort of way. It's different. And as you get closer and closer, you can feel something come over you, like you're in the presence of something. You look over at this individual woman, and go ahead and give me your medicine check with advantage.
Ooh.
You notice that her eyes are not rolled back in her head. They are glowing. And you notice that her movements are not erratic. They are methodical. And she grabs you and continues dancing with you. And in a very strange voice that does not sound like this woman's voice, she says, "There is danger. Seek me out in the jungle. Follow the star of the constellation of the vine to the east. You will find my sanctuary there. I need you, child of the gods." And just as she finishes, Uma, of the Fifth Drum, finishes the ritual, and the woman snaps out of whatever craze she was in. You grab her before she falls, and she kind of comes to for a moment and sees you and says in a very, very different voice, "What just happened? Were we dancing? I didn't step on your toes, did I?"
No, you did quite well.
Why is everyone looking at us? Are we an item?
A what now?
Never mind. I feel embarrassed. I think I should go.
Oh,
Sorry.
you're fine. And picks her up, kind of brushes her shoulders off, and like fixes anything that needs to get fixed. Like, it's fine, everything's fine.
She goes
Would
off.
I be able to recognize the voice?
Ooh. Do a religion check. Not ringing any bells.
Ugh. Damn it.
With that, Uma of the Fifth Drum comes over to you all, and especially to Yersa, and just goes, "Thank you. You were able to finish the ritual. I appreciate what you did. You definitely saved her. I don't really know what happened. This sort of thing does not normally happen."
Who is it you drum to?
I drum for the people of Theowatch, and to remind individuals that it is the beat of the earth that we walk on, that we can listen to the heartbeat of the earth. And that is what I bring to all of Theowatch, the heartbeat of the earth.
Well, your playing was quite fascinating. Thank you for... I've never heard a drum before.
Never heard of a drum before?
No?
My word. What is your name?
Chap.
I am Uma of the Fifth Drum. Hold on. And she goes over to her stuff, this little goblin. Again, she's wearing very tribal clothing and whatnot, but she goes over to her stuff, pulls out what looks to be a little drum, and she goes, "Here, take this. It's not much. It's mostly a toy for kids that I was passing out during the festival, but yeah, play it. Feel the rhythm. And listen. Above all, listen. And once you feel that you have matched the rhythm of the earth, you'll know. You will know."
Thank you. Perhaps I will participate in the drum circle tonight.
We would very much appreciate you. All of you. And she looks to Yersa and Roscoe as well. Goes back to her seat and begins another ritual.
I got a drum.
Very nice.
Nice drum.
Roscoe, what are you doing during this time?
Probably just milling about. Doesn't exactly his kind of scene.
Give me a perception check.
Never a good thing.
Okay. Before that, Sam, you were going to say something, Yersa?
Yersa is gonna do her best to kind of sneak away and find a quiet place to reflect on the events that had just passed.
Okay.
And if she can, she's going to both quietly, like if there's people around, she's going to quietly say this, but if there's no one around her, she's going to speak it like she's talking to the person in front of her. Okay, disembodied voice, whoever you are, I need more details than what you just gave me.
Are you asking anyone, or are you just asking no one?
Whoever she's just speaking out into the universe, thinking that they're like there might be someone is able to broadcast if they're able to broadcast their voice into another person, maybe they can broadcast it without the body.
Okay. So you, as you say this aloud in like an alleyway, kind of away from the major crowds, you do see and hear someone over in the alleyway, probably like 10 feet from you, and you just hear what sounds like a zipper zipping up, and then a guy turns around and goes, "Whoa, oh, sorry, didn't know this alley was taken," and he hawks a huge loogie where he just pissed in the alley and walks out. That's about it.
Okay. That's entirely unhelpful. Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome.
She is there a religious center in town at all?
Yeah, there would be smaller temples, but you would know that these gods that are worshipped here in Theowatch are generally worshipping more northern, like at least the established temples here are worshipping the more northern deities, whereas if you want information on like a southern deity, you'd actually go to the Krantz Museum or the Travelers Guild to learn a little bit more about that.
We'll go to the museum first.
Okay. Right now it's closed because it's evening time. Nothing's open.
Well, yeah, for sure.
But, yeah. As for Roscoe, with you just kind of mulling about, not really knowing what to do, not really your scene, something you do notice, someone walking around. the individual who was in the Skull Cave buying a particular artifact from the poachers looks like he's eating like a corn dog and enjoying the area, carrying what looks to be like a pack, a satchel, and just kind of mulling about as much as you are.
You're really determined to have me fight this guy, aren't you? I'll follow him around.
You don't have to fight. Don't have to fight.
Yeah, I'll follow him around, trying to be conspicuous.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
Come on.
Okay, I'm gonna do a contested roll.
Ooh.
Oh, that was almost a natural die.
Yeah.
All right. As you kind of follow him around, it seems like he's not up to too much, but you meet up with Yersa, who is probably nearby the museum at this point. Still, crowds are all around, and you watch the individual. He's just kind of like waiting off to the side from the museum, and you can see that's coming from. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. Coming from the back door of the museum,
Nice.
you see the actual curator of the Museum of Thalewatch of Krantz, and he comes out and meets this individual who I believe was a Dragonborn, and begins talking with him. And you see the two individuals. The individual who you saw before at the Skull Cave, he opens up his satchel, and the Krantz curator looks in and just gives like kind of a wide eye, and the other individual just kind of gives a nod, and they start walking off into the like a back alley.
Is there any balconies near the back alley or way up onto the roof?
Acrobatics check as you try to leap up there nimbly. Yersa, you're with him.
I slither, thank you.
Slither. All right, Roscoe, you jump pretty nimbly, slither up pretty nimbly up into the rafters. Yersa, Chap, are you guys doing anything?
Oh, I didn't know that was there.
Apparently, I'm gonna try to fall on my ass.
Yersa falls on her ass and does not get up onto the rooftops.
I'll try and get a little closer in the alley rather than trying to get up on the rooftop.
Okay. Give me a stealth check then, Chap.
Ooh, that was almost an 18.
As you try to sneak through, Yersa and Chap unfortunately get left behind. Chap tries to sneak, but the crowd kind of like overpowers him a little bit, and you're like, wait, no, I gotta get, no, wait, hold on, I gotta just let me move over here, and you're just getting taken by the crowd, unfortunately. Roscoe, you're on your own. So Roscoe, you're on the roof, and you watch them converse. Would you like to listen to what they are saying? You may do a perception check with advantage since you are on the rooftops, and it would be a pretty easy thing for you to do.
Hey.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Very nice.
What is this artifact that you are talking about? It is the obsidian shard of Verul, and not really sure what it is used for, but the buyer is willing to give quite a substantial donation to the museum if we are able to deliver it. And where exactly are you planning on delivering it? We are here in Thalewatch. Are you going up north? No, unfortunately the buyer asked us to go south of Thalewatch into the jungle. As for why, I'm not really quite sure. I've never met them, but I did receive this letter from them. Let me see that. Well, it says I was supposed to burn this letter, so maybe I shouldn't. Let me see it. And he gives him the letter, and the individual from the curator reads it. Interesting. When do you leave? Well, the festival is tonight, is it not? So probably leave in the morning after a nice long sleep in from a little hangover. Whatever, just make sure that it is delivered and the payment is also delivered. You can give me a portion and I can launder some of the money here. Very good. We can do that. And I will definitely share some of it with the representatives up north. All right. Just lay low until then. Eat a corn dog. Don't get drunk. And then they go separate ways.
Is he leaving out the same way they went in? Or are they separating? Or they went together?
I'd say they separate, yeah.
And I follow the guy with the satchel and try and yoink it from him. Either the satchel or the item.
Okay.
Like if he gets into a crowd, bump some people.
And bump into him, yeah.
Well, I would like to not bump into him. But, like, if you have
sure?
to navigate a crowd, use... Well, I don't want him to know it was me. I feel like...
All right. Hold on. I need to write something down.
You're not exactly
Give me 1 second.
conspicuous.
Yeah, I'm a 14-foot snake man.
All right. I'm writing something down. This is going to be a tiered DC. AKA low, you get nothing. Medium, you get something. High, you get something else. And we'll go from there. All right. So, in the crowd, you watch as he's like getting bumped around. He's probably starting to have a beer or two, an ale here and there. He's, getting a little bit intoxicated to the point where maybe he's not having his full faculties. Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand as you wait for the opportune moment to swipe.
Can we help at all?
You guys did mess up your acrobatics and your stealth
That's
check,
fair.
so I'd say you're still waiting for Roscoe to return.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see if there's anything I can do to help
Increase
me
your
out.
odds. Do you have inspiration?
Yeah. I do not. Worst comes to worst, I just outrun him. Oh,
you
thank
mean
Christ.
Slither?
Nice.
All right. You wait for the opportune moment. You see the satchel, the buckles kind of unbuckle themselves because someone bumped into it, and you just slither on past, stick your hand in, pull out a few things, and you walk on, and he is none the wiser. You quickly hide it under your pack, and you meet up with Yersa and Chap.
I got a drum.
Rock.
He got a drum.
You did not just receive a rock. You received, obviously, the obsidian shard of Verul, and you can see that it is... you also received the letter that the individual showed the curator that said he should have burned it. Would you like to read said letter?
No, I think I'll just burn it.
All right, sounds good.
No, I would like to read it, Jesse.
I mean, I don't care.
Just as like I
There you
wrote
go.
it all. It's okay. You could burn it.
You can
It's
read it
fine,
out
don't
loud,
worry
please,
about it.
Roscoe.
Okay. To the esteemed agent of the Krantz Consortium. Trust your journey has been uneventful and your negotiations with the local beast merchants fruitful. Time, as ever, presses upon us and my employer grows eager. The item in question is of utmost importance. You are to acquire the obsidian shard of Verul, or whatever name the locals have cursed it with. It is described as a jagged black relic etched with glyphs looking like twisted withering vines. My employer does not care for academic legitimacy nor for provenance. He desires results. You are instructed to travel 1 day's journey south of Thalewatch to the old ruins above the jungle cliffs where we met previously. There, myself and my employer's agents will meet you in person. They will know you by the phrase, "The veil splits only once." Payment, of course, will be substantial. Fail to deliver, and you will have disappointed someone who is unaccustomed to disappointment. Burn this letter after reading M. I was not doing that in Roscoe's voice.
Why not?
Not good enough with it yet.
Mhm.
Still ironing out the kinks. Well, this is a little interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Chap, you said that the guard had twisted vine glyphs on
Yeah.
his chest, right?
Yes, he was a follower of the goddess Kashmira.
Can I do a history check to see if Verul is related or if this is just happy coincidence.
If what is related, I'm sorry.
Veyrul and the other
Casmera.
god Casmira.
Okay. Yeah.
Is related.
Give me a history check.
As he's doing this, I'm just prattling on about what I know about Casmera from Reiko to Yersa.
From what you understand about local customs and naming conventions, you are quite certain that Veyrul is not a person, it is a place.
El Dorado.
Can I check the map and see if it matches the description of the place?
Check which map.
I have it as the road to El Dorado, but it's not.
The city of gold.
So you're looking for the golden city?
Yeah, see if it's related.
How would you see it if it was related? I'm curious.
One day's journey south of Thale, watch the old ruins above the jungle cliffs. See if that's kind of if the map shows.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Generally like that.
Definitely not. The old ruins that are one day south of Thale Watch are minuscule at best.
Okay, just like a small.
Not like a very very small.
Q. Is the stone magical?
Do you do an Arcana check?
I can do one for you if you'd like.
I would prefer someone else to do it.
Hey, buddy.
Oh.
Nice. Yersa, it is not only magical, but you are quite certain that this thing, whatever it is of extreme importance. It is resonating in a way that you've not felt in years. And the only other time that you felt this was maybe when you were around some of your mother's artifacts.
Shit. Oh shit.
Oh,
That's
shit.
a good shit, right? That's good, right? We did a good thing.
Yeah. So long as we don't do anything stupid with this, yeah.
Cut to Chap just
Oh,
flicking
we're
it up in the air
screwed.
like a coin.
Yeah. All right, we are toast. Got it. I'll keep that in my chest pocket right next to my heart where nothing bad could possibly happen.
Oh no, nothing.
At this point in time, you hear, "To the river! To the boats!" And you see the crowd begin to shift and move towards the river that runs all the way through Baywatch.
Head to the river, grab some glowing petals.
They are being handed out by, it looks like, young children, boys and girls, holding these baskets. And as people walk by, they just grab a small handful, maybe like 10 at most. And they all get ready to walk by the river. No one has thrown their petals in yet. People crowd.
Is there...
Yep.
Wait, did we get petals?
If you would like.
Can I get a petal, please?
The little boy holds up his basket and just says, "One handful, please." And gives you a handful.
Oh, okay. I thought I was just getting one. Okay.
Yeah, so in essence, you'll get like 10, roughly, give or take, like a small handful of petals. Do the rest of you also do the same?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All right.
might as well.
Can I,
Yep, go ahead.
Can I, like, quietly and try to do it as, like, invisibly as possible, put one of these petals into a vial?
Yeah, sure. You can do that without any roll. It's not a big deal.
Okay. Just want to inspect it later.
Okay. At this point in time, everyone is crowded around the river, and everything is pretty quiet, honestly. Not really much more than a murmur going in the crowd, and you see Uma of the Fifth Drum begin to do a very low resonating drum that just kind of vibrates throughout the entirety of the area. You see a elven individual, very regal looking, and dressed in very spiritual channeler robes, and takes a very large vat and slowly pours it onto the river upstream so that it begins flowing downstream. As this liquid that looks a little sparkly starts to make its way downstream, you see people gently throwing their petals into the river. The majority of the time, these petals, as soon as they touch the river, they begin to light up. There are some that do not light up, and they immediately float down to the bottom. But the others that do light up, they continue to go downstream on the top of the surface, beautifully lit. What do you all do?
I'm gonna kneel down. I'm gonna place one in the river for Trusk. And then I'm gonna place another one in for all the bandits that we killed. And another one for the town watch people that died when we were attacked. Another one for the death cultists that we killed. Basically, one for every group of dead people that our group has been around.
As you put these petals in and think about all the different individuals that you think of, the bandits that you dispatched light up and flow down the river. The individuals that you think of, the death revelers, their petals do not light up, and they immediately sink down into the bottom of the river. And finally, for Trusk, the petal lights up, and even though there is a current, even though the water is moving, it lingers and stays close. You see an individual, just a random citizen, come close to you and just say, "That means that their spirit is lingering. Maybe they haven't completed what they needed to, or you have to do something for them." Generally, it's not a bad omen, but something that they need to finish, or you need to finish for them. But the soul is lingering for that individual, someone close to you.
I'm gonna reach in and I'll scoop the petal back up with a handful.
It stays glowing light.
I'm gonna turn to my friends and be like, I think he wants to come back.
I guess we better get working on that.
Mm-hmm.
One of the citizens just says, "Mela Kinthari, the person who just threw that vat into the river, she orchestrates this ritual with Uma. And every year it gets more complicated, but she still delivers. She is quite magical in her art."
Yes, we were told we should speak with her. I didn't want to bother her on such an auspicious night.
Well, if she wishes to see you, she will gladly accept you, I'm sure.
Shall we take a chance then, friends?
Before that, Yersa, what do you do with your petals?
She's actually going to follow suit with how Chap was putting his in and quietly put them down for Trusk for the giant sloth we killed, even though we probably shouldn't have. And all the people that have... Actually, she's going to do most of the petals for Trusk, the giant sloth, because hearing that they're a protected species made her a little guilty. And the people of the hospital that she knows have passed from disease while she's been helping.
All of your petals light up and gently go down the river in a beautiful display.
Even the one for Trusk?
Minus the one for Trusk.
Okay, I was gonna say, shit!
I forgot that you said Trusk.
Okay, she's gonna see that Chap is like, she's kind of mimicking Chap and like, oh crap, this is okay, this is a sign. We gotta go. Like, right now.
Before that, Roscoe, what do you do?
Well, not gonna throw one in for Trusk, just because he's not quite dead yet, and obviously hasn't shuffled off the mortal coil completely. But I'll throw some in for mostly dead, for the people who died during the raid, which I think was what, 6 months out now. The family members of the Silver Dragon, and that's about it. Doesn't really interact with a lot of other people.
You see the petals, the ones of the individuals who died during the raid. They light up and go down the river. You think about the Silver Dragon relatives, and they do not light up, but rather sink down into the riverbed below.
I know what that means, but that doesn't sound good. That does not look good.
It was a white dragon in disguise.
One of the individuals like kind of steps up and one of the citizens goes, usually it just means that either the person who you thought was dead is not, or you didn't even think of someone. Like, I don't know, I can only think of 2 people and I throw 10 in and only 2 light up, so I'm good, right? But generally if it sinks, it's either they're not dead or you didn't even think about anyone.
Roscoe's a little confused. Not quite sure what that means. We were told that our family was killed, right?
Indeed.
Is Roscoe smart enough to realize that they're probably not dead?
Either that or something else.
Or there wasn't a family?
Or something else.
I don't know what that something else could
be.
Make an intelligence check.
Yeah, thanks, boss. I live that 10 intelligence lifestyle.
Just a straight old roll.
It's straight old roll.
Hey. So, oftentimes, certain creatures can come back from the dead in a very twisted form, aka become undead. And that could affect this ritual.
I didn't even think about that. I did not think. Man, I am making all kinds of mistakes today. This has been a very bad day for me.
We're learning a lot, aren't we, Roscoe?
The last time I tried to do something nice for people, it was bogus.
There.
In the notes, probable Draco Lich.
Or just undead dragon.
It's Jesse, it's going to be a Draco Lich.
Make our way to Myla Nightroot Kinthari. I'm gonna have the little puddle of water in my hands with the glowing petal, and I'm just gonna hold that out in front of me as we're walking.
All right. You see that Mela Nightroot Kanthari is very much enamored with many individuals, talking with her and discussing alchemical ingredients, what you use, the recipes you use. And she seems quite entertained by the people interested in her concoctions. And then she sees you, Chap, holding out your hands with a puddle of water and a little petal. that is alight. And she just goes, "Excuse me, young sir. Are you not going to let the souls go down the river and rest peacefully?"
He didn't want to.
She looks perplexed and goes, "Can you show me?"
I'll put the pedal back into the water.
And sure enough, it does exactly what it did before, where it stays and does not move even though the current is going. And say again, sorry.
Oh, that was me moving a chair, sorry.
Oh, okay. And she just goes, well, this is a pickle. This is not a common
that's
occurrence
pedal.
by any means.
We were told you might be able to assist us in the resurrection of our friend.
There is something that can be done. A soul bud elixir. I could make that. Yes. And she kind of thinks for a moment and thinks about the recipe. It's quite complex. I would definitely need assistance. Assistance? Where's my apprentice? And she looks around left, looks around right. And you see someone. Didn't you send him to the Moonvine Orchids in the jungle just before dusk? Yes, that should have only taken him an hour at most. He has yet to return, and it's been nearly 4 or 5 hours.
We'll find him.
If you could, that would be very lovely. It's not far from here. Just on the other side of the wall, there is the Moonvine Orchids. If you just follow a little bit south, there's a trail. You can easily find it. I'm sure that my apprentice is still there. If you find him, I can whip up something for your soul bud elixir, and then I'll be able to help your friend, for sure.
We appreciate that.
All right. And she goes back off, kind of like you hear her murmur to herself, I hope he's okay. And that's it.
So friends, Roscoe, as the cartographer, do you have any idea where those orchards are?
I think I do. I'll check my map.
Yeah, it's not far. You can easily check your map, and it's not far at all. Maybe like a 45-minute, not even a half-hour walk after the wall. And there's a small little thing called the Moonvine Orchids. And yeah.
Jesse, is it over here by any chance?
By Audrey too.
1 moment. Let me see. Ping it again. Guess we'll find out.
No.
All right. So I assume you guys head off.
Yes.
Wunderbar. I'm gonna be right back and go pee.
Okie dokie.
As we're walking, you see Chap pulls out the small acorn that he's hollowed out and carved runes into. And he opens it up, and the Displacer kitten pops out. Noticeably different, however. She's got 2 dark purple wings that extrude from her back, and little poison sacs that are attached to her tentacles. This is Sadie, everyone. And I pop her up on my shoulder, and for just a split second, it looks like she's on both my shoulders at once.
Ooh.
That's kind of terrifying.
It's very terrifying, but also super cool.
And she will grow up to be even more terrifying.
Can I try to give her a little scratchy behind the ear?
You're making an animal handling check.
Okay, I am back.
Ooh, okay.
She nips at your finger.
Jeez.
What just happened?
She tried to pet my Displacer kitten,
Ooh.
who I have Splicer augmented to have wings and poison sac.
Very nice. Speaking of appendages and things, have you rolled for the monster pieces?
I haven't, but I haven't been building anything with them recently, so I figured I'll just do that later.
Okay, sounds good. All right. you guys leave through the gates and you head off into the night. It is dark. Who has dark vision? Or a lantern?
I do.
I think we all do.
Wow, great, awesome. All right, so then you guys are going to do. You could do. Anyone who's leading can do a perception check with disadvantage because of the darkness. But go ahead and make those rolls for whoever is leading.
I have a +5 in perception.
Me too.
I've got not that.
And we assist each
Lead
other.
the way, chap.
All right, 15. Is that with disadvantage?
Oh shit, sorry.
All right, 7. With that 7, it's hard to see unless you're using a light. Do you want to use a light, and I'll keep you with that 15? Or do you want to stay quiet and stealthy and dark?
Be sure I have a bullseye lantern. We're not really stealthing, and we don't. Besides regular jungle animals, we're not expecting any kind of attack. So I would say that.
Good point.
Yeah, bullseye lantern.
I like it. Good idea. You approach with a bullseye lantern, and you can see different parts of the jungle before you notice that a very beautiful purple flower appears. If you recall, purple is the color that was not represented in the city of Thalewatch. And as you approach it, you notice that the moonlight, just as it peeks over some mountains and maybe out of some clouds, the moonlight touches this flower, and the flower immediately opens up into a beautiful blossom. You notice all around you the movement of flowers blooming, all in the bright moonlight. And then you can see what looks to be a very large plant that looks almost upside down at first, where there's a pretty large opening at the top of the plant and a very bulbous basin, probably around the size of large. And you can see that, what am I saying? As you approach, you notice, like, all the movement kind of catches your eye, but you look at the bulbous part of this plant, and you see something press on the inside of that bulbous piece, and it is a hand.
The apprentice, I assume.
I have to cut them out.
Are there any other flowers that look like this around?
There are tons of these little flowers all around, yes.
This big one, though, specifically.
No.
Okay. All right. What do we think? Should we attempt to flame it, to burn it?
I probably should try and cut them out before we burn it.
I will have Old Boy approach and try and tap the thing with his halberd.
All right. As you tap the thing with the halberd, whatever it is, it did not like that. You see and look upon this large plant as the vines begin to kind of creep up on the floor. The plant begins to come alive, and you realize that this is no meager little plant, but rather a carnivorous type plant. And I'm going to need you all to drop your tokens and roll initiative.
As soon as there is a combat encounter.
Oh, sorry. Let's do this. There we go. Should be good now.
Hey,
With Shambling Mound. That brings me back to Katarina.
Mm-hmm. This isn't any old shambling mound. All right. Let's see how you guys take on this bad boy. All right, first guy is Roscoe. You notice that there's an individual inside of the shambling mound, possibly in digestive juices. What are you doing?
Since I rolled initiative, I'm going to use Uncanny Metabolism to get all my focus points back. Because I don't think we took a short rest or anything. Go. And it gives health, but I don't have any issues with health. So I'm going to use focus point for, hang on, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35. Yeah. Gotta get Flurry of Blows. And now I have 2 attacks, so now it's 4.
Lovely.
Normal. 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 Normal.
The 12 does not, but everything else does.
Cool. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
All 2s.
Consistency.
21 damage.
All right, beauteous. Anything else? Can you describe what you just did?
Slithered up real fast. Just started wailing on him.
Beautiful.
Give him 1, 2.
All right, Chap.
I am going to avoid getting too close just yet, and I'm going to cast Stalker's Eye on Old Boy, which will give him. We're 5th level now. It'll give him advantage on his first attacks, and I'll crit him a 19. And then bonus action, tell him to attack. Oh, sorry, I'm supposed to do that at advantage. Okay, no crit, but that's fine. 20, and then damage.
All 2s.
Oofta.
Jesus. Doing great on damage, everybody. Alright, that is fine.
All right, go ahead and end your turn, and the shambling mound's turn. You see the shambling mounds, its large vines begin to rise out of its structure, and is going to make 2 vine lash attacks. The first one is going to be after Old Boy. Rutrow. That will be 11 piercing damage to Old Boy.
Gotcha.
And then to Roscoe, 16 to hit, which is 13 points of damage to Roscoe.
16 ties. Tie goes to the attacker, right?
Yep, always to the attacker.
How about no? Actually, what kind of damage is it?
This is piercing.
Oh, yeah. How about no? Nope.
Nice.
Wow. That is so insane. All right, cool. Also, I should say that you attack, you are not physically harming the individual who is inside of the shambling mound, this like bulbous belly in essence. But you do notice that they start to get irate. Their hands and things are pressing, and they're like pounding and trying to get out at this point. All right, Yersa.
All right, we are going to use some Sacred Flame. Can I get a Dexterity save, please?
Nice, 16.
All right. Well, half damage still, so.
Sacred Flame? I don't think it does half damage.
Yep, it does.
They must have changed it
Oh,
for
no.
the new one.
As a
No.
cantrip?
No,
No?
it's no damage.
On save, no damage. There you go. All right.
Oh,
I saw something else.
let me
So-
pretend, okay?
You need to get your wisdom up. Really.
Anything else? Yersa?
Okay, I'm not tough enough, and now I'm apparently not smart enough. Okay.
I need that DC a little high.
All right. Anything else, Yersa?
Cry is a free action.
Always. All right. Roscoe.
Since I'm using piercing slashing weapons, is it possible to target a specific area to cause a rip in the stomach to get the guy out?
Do you have slashing?
Is it slashing? Hang on a sec.
Could be slashing.
I don't know. Yeah, slashing damage.
Oh, all right. Then yes, I will allow it.
Cool. Use another focus point for flurry of blows. Oh, cheese and crackers. One, two, three, four. Yep.
All will hit except for the natural one.
Cool. I will take that inspiration. One, two.
And you are looking to rip open.
Stomach. And not stab the person by accident.
Of course. I would say that with your attack, you are absolutely able to rip open and snatch the individual and grab them out. As you do, you and this individual are going to take 3 poison damage as the the froth and the acid from this bulbous area just leaks out and just covers you a little bit, but you just take 3 poison damage.
I am resistant.
Stupid, but he is not. And he is not looking good at this point. Chap.
Alright, let's fucking do it again. I'm just gonna cast Stalker's Eye and order Old Boy to attack. Give me a 19 for fuck's sake. That's a little better. 11 points of damage. And Sadie's gonna hop off my shoulder and fly over here.
Okay.
That's
Anything
my
else,
turn.
Chap? Beautiful. The shambling mound, being very upset that it just lost its meal, is going to reach out and attempt to engulf you. Roscoe, I don't need you to make a strength saving throw or be engulfed.
Does it have to be strength?
Yes. It's going to grab you with a vine.
Surprisingly, okay.
Hey! Very nice. And just for doing that, it's not happy and it's going to whack you. With
No,
a
it's
15 to
not.
hit.
No.
Bummer. All right. Yersa.
Alright, well, since Sacred Flame didn't work. We're gonna keep our distance because we don't need 2 dead companions.
Sounds like Roscoe's doing fine. That'll definitely hit. Good job. Short bow shoots
Thanks.
right at the vines.
Sweet.
7 points of damage. Anything else?
Nope, that is it.
Gorgeous. Roscoe.
Old-fashioned flurry of blows. Also, I do have a question I want to ask after the session, just a point of order for unarmed strikes.
All right, sounds good. Pop, pop, pop.
Nice.
13 misses, I assume.
13 meets, so it's gonna hit.
Oh.
Here's the damage.
The big
Oh,
boy.
a 2. And a little more.
Yeah, it evens out. And I need him to make a con save. I'm using Stunning Strike.
Ooh, that's clutch, honestly, because he's bloody at this point, and he was going to use his bloodied action at the end of your turn. But con save, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how clutch it is.
Yes!
It's very.
Yes!
It's very.
Oh,
Nice.
had to beat a 13.
You did not want him to use his bloodied action.
You are correct.
Oh,
Oop.
he's dead.
Wrong
You
button.
win.
Wrong button. Hold on. Wrong button. Wrong button. What is it? There it is. Stunned. Nope. God damn it. There we go. What is the button? There it is. Stunned. All right. Anything else?
I just gave him the Stone Cold Stunner. Nope, that's it.
Chap.
Well, since he's stunned, I'm going to go ahead and cast that same spell, Stalker's Eye, on Sadie, and she's going to fly in and attack.
Go for it, Sadie.
This is my first time with her.
$22 will hit.
Oh, very nice.
Is he immune to poison?
He's immune to poison, yes.
Oh, that sucks because the poison was a 4, so 9 points of damage.
9
Rolled
points of
terribly
damage.
otherwise.
Beautiful.
And then the rest of her movement to get out of fighting her.
Right, sounds good. Yersa.
All right. We're gonna try this again since it worked.
Nope.
No, it doesn't. That's not enough, is it?
It is not, unfortunately.
It's melee actions that have an advantage for stunned, right?
Indeed.
Or is it? Okay.
That's a great question, actually. I think stunned you do get an advantage.
Looking
Try again.
Really?
Attack rolls, yeah.
That'll hit.
Oh, that's so close to being a 20.
It's
9 points of damage.
Yeah.
Excellent. Anything else?
That is all.
At the end of Roscoe's next turn is, or the beginning, or I don't know. When is he
Start of
relieved?
my turn. Start of
Alright,
my
cool.
turn.
Roscoe, your turn again. He's looking very rough at this point.
Take him out.
Yep. Okay. That my question has now come up. Unarmed strike is a bonus action. I get 2 attacks per action. Is that just 2 unarmed strikes, or is that 4?
If you use flurry of blows, that's 4.
Otherwise,
4.
it's 3.
Otherwise, it's 3.
Okay. Then I will do 3.
Oh,
Natural
you have inspiration,
one.
right?
Yeah.
Nope, because he's stunned until the end of your turn, right? It's with advantage.
Start of my turn.
Oh, start? Okay, never mind, sorry.
Yeah.
Roscoe, how do you want to kill him?
Yeah.
Roscoe, how would you like to kill him?
Oh, we lose Brad.
Uh-oh.
Well, looks like Brad lost his character. That's unfortunate. I can hear you, but we cannot hear you. Well, he will get back to us whenever he gets back to us. Give me a bit. He's pooping. All right, got it. With that, the end of battle is done, and you see an individual very much coughing and not having a good time. He is on death's door. and he is probably about to die from the poison that he just suffered from the shambling mound. You see a elf individual, young, probably around 19 years old, scared and covered in disgusting plant mucus. What are you doing?
Me looking at this, like the specter of death hovers over and be like, "We're here to save you."
Do not resist. He is about to pass out. What are you doing?
Check.
Yep, check.
Medicine?
Awesome.
All right, medicine check. Go ahead, Yersa.
Nice.
With that 18, you assess that he is very much dying of poison, and unless you can find an antidote or figure out a way to discern it,
Would I be able to? Could I be
can
like,
you tell me?
I don't know, would a history check or an arcana check work? I mean, arcana wouldn't really do anything from poison. That would be more of a nature check.
I would, yeah, I'd say nature. Nature is appropriate.
Can
Okay.
I suck the poison out of him?
You can certainly try.
Giggity. Oh,
Yersa, you have no idea.
Ooh.
Roscoe, you're like, hey, I've seen
You're
this
in
somewhere
danger.
before, that you can suck out poison.
Jesse, I am proficient in Poisoner's Kit. Could I try and
Ooh.
make an antidote through that?
You
Please
can.
do.
But first, I want to see if Roscoe can suck it out. So how about you
Okay.
do a medicine check, Roscoe? Because it would be funny.
It is a reverse snake bite.
The first snake bite.
It is a reverse snake bite.
Shockingly enough, Roscoe it seems to be doing a pretty decent job of sucking out the poison. Chap,
Wait, would
still
your
do your
fangs be
roll.
little straws?
Okay. I only have a +4,
Yeah.
so I might need one of yours inspiration. Oh, look at that.
With Roscoe sucking out the poison, and then Chap immediately figuring out an anti-poison, what is
Antivenom.
it called? Not antivenom.
Antidote.
Oh my god, what am I thinking? Antidote. Thank you. Oh my god. Figuring out the antidote, you are able to save this individual's life, where their breathing is stable and they are no longer dying, and they are weak, but they come to, and they just look to you all and just say, I was just trying to get the moonvine plants. Oh, God.
Yeah, I might have taken a little bit more of your blood than I needed.
I assume you are
Kind of sweet.
the assistant
got that
to
check.
Mistress Kinthari.
Yes, I'm Ivan Total. Nice to meet you all. How did you know I was here?
We were sent for you.
Is she looking for me? I need to get back to her. Hold on. Actually, I need to harvest these. And he tries to get up, and he's pretty woozy, needs some helping hands and whatnot.
I'll let old boy just like lift him up.
Okay.
Carry him like a baby.
And he quickly harvests what you assume he needs, some of the purple flowers, and you all head back to Thalewatch. As you head back to Thalewatch, you find Mela and are able to reintroduce her to her apprentice, where she quickly, thanks you all, grabs a healing potion that she just so happened to have on her and forces her apprentice to suck it down, and he feels way better. And she goes, for your bravery, I would be honored to brew you a soul bud elixir. Now, Ivan, you got some of the moonvine orchids, is that correct? Yes, right here. And she says, if you give me until morning, I should be able to whip it up. And as long as you provide me with the corpse, the body, you will have your friend back.
We are in your debt.
No. We are very much even by this point. Thank you for saving my apprentice. And she goes off.
Well, I have a drum. And I'm going to go find a drumming circle and sit down and do a dexterity-based performance check.
Sure, go for it.
Not bad for my first time.
It's very good. In the wee hours of the morning, you play with the drum circle and enjoy the festivities for this night. As you can see the greenery all around this town, there were buds that were forming, but a similar, different, but similar flower begins to bloom in the moonlight that turns purple. And you all just kind of enjoy the festivities until the wee or early morning.
In the
With that, yep, go ahead.
morning, can I find an armor to make barding for Sadie?
Absolutely,
Cool. I'll just spend the gold.
sounds good. Yeah, it's just follow the player's handbook rules for that. And so, assuming that you get Trusk back, what is your all's goal for the next session?
Well, I need to find this vine person in the jungle.
Yes. We also have the rendezvous that the other guy was supposed to make. We could check, but we could also have Trusk identify that artifact as well. Maybe it's something more useful in our hand.
They might be related, the quest from the goddess and where the guy was supposed to drop off the artifact.
Possible. We could also ask Trusk when he comes back if he knows anything about the city that the artifact is named after. And then we also have the map to El Dorado.
I would be intrigued by that one.
Roscoe, can you remind me where you got that map?
From the Beastmaster's cavern.
Yes. Okay, I do. All right. No, it was from last session. Got it.
So,
Yeah, new legal.
primary goals: resurrect Trusk, accompany Yersa to meet with the voice in her head, figure out what we want to do with the artifact, and then maybe go searching for the City of Gold while hunting beasts along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Also, every night I'm always doing a crack check on the dragon's egg to see if it's hatching.
Roscoe, roll me a D100.
Yay!
Oh no.
The egg seems to be moving, like kind of twitching a little bit, but did not hatch this night.
Cool. We're gonna be uncles and aunties soon.
Fuck yes. Do you know how to take care of a dragon egg?
I mean, it can't be any harder than taking care of
I mean,
another.
not a dragon egg, a dragon baby.
No, I mean, they're lizards. Same thing as snake, but legs and wings.
It should prove a valuable hunting partner.
And a protector of our sanctuary. And probably valuable member long after we're past. That's a really long time, right?
We're gonna have to dig out a basement for it.
We're also gonna have to feed it.
We have the old treasure room, right? That could be a good little ice cavern for it.
Yeah, have to drain away the water.
I assume we did that when we got
No.
the temple ready.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. Well, that is in essence all that I have for you this week. Because we're missing Dan and Ree, I figured we could end there and have Ree be introduced
Reintroduced.
Introduced by next session, and have Trusk back, and hopefully Dan will be able to return and not work so much. Stupid work getting in the way.
Dang it.
But otherwise, I hope you all enjoyed a lot of that lore dump and quest hooks and things like that. So before we leave, any questions, comments, or concerns?
How pissed off were you that that stun worked?
I mean, so when I designed that battle, I had other things in it. I was going to use saplings, like little things. But then Ree said she wasn't going to be here, and I was like, oh, okay. And then Dan was like, I am not showing up. I'm like, fuck. And I was like, how do I balance this? So I wasn't sure about the balancing, and I had to make like last-minute decisions. So then, yeah, so in essence, it is what it is. But it was supposed to be a decent fight, but you guys breezed through it.
Lovely.
It's always hard to balance with 3 people. But regardless, thank you all, and we will see you in the next one. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.